this episode of Cooking with Kayla. I'm Kayla, one of the registered dietitians here at San Antonio Regional Hospital, and today we're making pita pizzas. This is an excellent recipe to make on any day of the week. It's comforting, it's delicious, and I have fond memories of having pretty much this exact thing for dinner when I was a kid. It was always the thing I would pick. Today we're gonna make our own sauce and make a healthy and delicious pita pizza. So now we're gonna start making our pizza sauce. This is super easy. You can make the sauce in the time it takes for your oven to preheat. So we're gonna start with 1 8-ounce can of no salt added tomato sauce. It's important to get the no salt added one because this 1 can of tomato sauce would have about 1,000 milligrams of sodium if you got the regular. So this is gonna go in here. This is gonna make enough sauce for 4 pizzas. Put the whole thing in. And then next we're going to add in some tomato paste, about 1/4 cup. Tomato paste is going to help to thicken up our sauce so that we don't have any soggy crusts. So we're putting 1/4 cup in, and tomatoes, and especially the tomato paste, is rich in lycopene, which is a phytochemical that has a lot of good antioxidant activity, and it's really good for the prostate and our heart health. You can see that we used about half of the tomato paste can. The rest you could put into the freezer in little ice cube trays and save for another recipe. So this all goes in, and now we're gonna add in our flavor. We have 1 tablespoon of Italian seasoning. It has all kinds of different flavors in it. Every brand is a little bit different. So 1 tablespoon of that. Next is half a teaspoon of garlic powder. If you wanted to be super fancy, you could saute some garlic and onions and olive oil and add that in later. And then we're gonna use 1/4 teaspoon of onion powder and 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And we're gonna stir all of this together until it's well combined. And I actually like to use a whisk to make sure that that tomato paste combines into our recipe really well. So we're gonna whisk that all in. And look at that, in just a minute we had all of our tomato sauce ready to go. For our crust, we're gonna be using a pita. This is a whole wheat pita, and I like to use the whole wheat because it adds extra fiber. The whole wheat pita has 2 grams of fiber compared to a regular pita, which doesn't have any fiber at all. And remember, fiber helps us to feel full and satisfied, and so it's really good to always get the whole wheat when you can. If you didn't have the pita, which look at this, it's the perfect pizza shape, you could also use an English muffin or a tortilla even. So I'm just going to put this onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet, and we're gonna let this warm up in the oven for about 5 minutes. And I like to do that ahead of time before we put all our toppings so that it doesn't get soggy. Our pita pizza crust has had 5 minutes to bake in a 400-degree oven so that it can start getting a little bit crispy, and now is the fun part. You get to customize your pizza however you like. I'm gonna start by putting down 1/4 cup of that pizza sauce we just made. And it's gonna be extra delicious with all those flavors we added with all of those herbs. But you could make your pizza sauce with any flavors that you like. When I was a kid, we actually used to use spaghetti sauce as our sauce for our pizza. So whatever you have on hand, it's just kind of fun to make your own sauce from scratch. So I like to spread that all on. We're making pizza now, so that looks good, nice and even. Be sure to leave a little bit of crust on the outside. You could even make pesto. We made pesto another time, and we'll link the recipe if you wanted to try using pesto for your pizza. Next, we're gonna use 1/4 cup of mozzarella cheese. I got the kind that was already shredded at the grocery store to save a little bit of time. Mozzarella cheese is lower in fat and also lower in sodium than some other cheeses. If you wanted to have all of these ingredients on hand, you could also just use a string cheese and cut it up into little pieces so that you wouldn't have to buy a whole block or a whole bag of shredded mozzarella cheese if you were just cooking for yourself. That way you could make the sauce in advance and have it in the fridge ready to go whenever the pizza craving hits. Next, we're gonna add in half of a cup of vegetables of choice. I like to chop them up pretty small. Today I'm using mushrooms and bell peppers, Then I also have a few olives that I'm gonna put on there as well, but you could use any veggies that you have on hand or any veggie that you like. Mushrooms are my personal favorite pizza topping, but everyone gets to customize and make their own. If you have a large family, you could each have your own pizza, especially if you have kids. When I was little, I loved building my own pizza. I'll just throw a couple olives on there. There we go, look at that, quick and easy. This is gonna go in the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes at 400 degrees, and when it comes out, we're gonna have a bubbly, delicious pizza. So our pizza is out of the oven, and oh my goodness, it smells so good. It was so fun to just customize and make it my own. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it into 4 pieces because that's how I like my pizza, but you can cut yours however you like. I like to use a pizza cutter. Look at that cheese, nice and gooey. And then I'm pairing mine with a little side salad. Remember, make half your plate non-starchy vegetables or fruit. Just gonna put that there. Look at this. A beautiful dinner. Oh my goodness. And I'm just going to top it with some fresh basil. It adds a nice peppery and delicious aroma to the dish and a little bit of freshness too. So whenever I have fresh basil, I like to just add it to my pizza there. Look at that lovely gourmet dinner that we made in literally the time it would take to order a pizza and get it delivered, but we get to make it the way that we like it. Look at this. I think I'll take a taste. Let's try a piece. I can hardly wait. Delicious. I got the ooey gooey cheese, the mushrooms, the freshness of the basil. Amazing. I'm so glad that you could join me for this episode of Cooking with Kayla. And remember, be gentle with yourself. See you next time.